You know what always bothered me about The Flash, outside of all the times Barry was a complete moron, the hallway pep talks, and general relationship drama anyway? No, the real thing that bothers me is Earth 1's version of Caitlin Snow. I mean, I'm glad they eventually gave her powers and explored her transformation into Killer Frost and all that, but why did she start turning evil? It didn't make any sense. None of the other metahumans on the show really had a change like that, outside of Frankie Kane, who already had a split personality before she ran into alchemy, and Eliza Harmon, who wasn't even a metahuman anyway, but got a split personality because of her addiction to V9. Everyone's personalities pretty much just stayed the same after they got powers. I mean, maybe they got enhanced a little bit.
The serum amplifies everything that is inside, so good becomes great. Bad becomes worse.
But generally speaking, the good guy stayed good and the bad guy stayed bad. So what's the deal with Caitlin and Killer Frost? Well, personally, I'm thinking her split personality is a result of her powers messing around with her brain's chemistry and heightening the negative emotions she's been feeling after being severely traumatized from all the different things she's had to deal with throughout the show's 3 seasons. Simply put, Killer Frost is Caitlin's anger, grief, fear, and every other negative emotion rolled into one personality and brought to life every time she uses her powers. I mean, think about it, it makes sense. Look at all the crazy shit Caitlin's had to deal with since she started helping Barry as a part of Team Flash. She's been held captive twice, once by Grodd and once by Zoom, and that's the same guy she fell in love with before he gave her a pretty bad case of PTSD. I'm sure that wasn't fun. And finding out you fell in love with a supervillain definitely has to suck, especially after having to deal with the death of her former husband, Ronnie Raymond. Technically, she had to deal with it twice when you think about it.
The explosion that put you in a coma also killed my fiance.
Plus, think about how her closest friends treated her since they found out about Earth 2 and Killer Frost. Barry, Cisco, and even Caitlin herself have all been terrified of the idea that she might end up turning into Killer Frost and treated her icy powers as a curse. Some bad thing they need to make sure she gets rid of instead of using them for something positive. Remember how Cisco treated her after they met the Earth 2 version of Killer Frost?
You have this icy look in your eye just like you did over there. You're acting just like she did over there.
And that was before she had powers. In the season 3 episode Monster, when Caitlin visited her mom, she flat out admits that she's terrified of her powers.
I'm terrified of what I'm becoming.
I mean, everyone on Team Flash basically turns this whole Killer Frost thing into a self-fulfilling prophecy, you know what I mean? They repeatedly hammer home that Caitlin having powers would be a bad thing and that she'd definitely turn into Killer Frost if she had them. So really, how do you think she's gonna react after Flashpoint wraps up and she realizes Barry changed the timeline and gave her powers? Of course she'd freak out and be more inclined to slip into that mindset while she's using her abilities. She'd think it was inevitable and wouldn't be as inclined to try to control her powers like most of the other metahumans on the show. Now that having been said, I'm sure there's some of you out there who aren't convinced, right? Like maybe you're thinking, well, Barry's a metahuman and he's had to deal with a lot of stuff arguably on the same level that Caitlin's been through, and he's not evil. Not anymore anyway. But remember, it's not just about the traumatic things she's gone through. There's also the fact that her powers are rewiring her brain every time she uses them, making her more susceptible to feeling stronger and more intense negative emotions. It's like what her mom said, how Caitlin's powers are altering her physiology.
Your body's chemistry is changing in ways that I don't fully understand.
And we know that change isn't the same as the one someone like, say, Barry went through when he got his powers, since according to executive producer Andrew Kreisberg during an interview with Entertainment Weekly, obviously her meta powers have severely messed with her mind, so it's not like Barry Allen, who is still Barry Allen even though he got super speed. Her brain chemistry has been severely altered. I mean, really, when you think about it, Caitlin's a lot like Bruce Banner, right? The both of them suffered some pretty severe mental trauma and tried to repress it. Caitlin with all her kidnapping and her husband's death and whatnot, and Bruce with his dad killing his mom and beating him for no reason, before something happens to them, heightening and giving their negative emotions a physical form while also giving them superpowers. Actually, speaking of that Hulk comparison, there was that one time Danielle Panabaker talked about what the writers told her about the relationship between Caitlin Snow and Killer Frost, stating, "I had a lot of conversations with the writers, particularly around episode 7, which was Kevin Smith's episode, and the way that this has been explained to me is that it's almost like there's this dark person inside of her who's itching to get let out." It really does sound like she's dealing with her own version of the Hulk, huh? So simply put, I'm pretty sure the reason Caitlin develops this evil Killer Frost personality is because of a combination of everything she's been through and her new powers altering her brain chemistry and heightening the emotions she feels because of all that trauma. But anyways guys, that's my take on why Caitlin suddenly turns evil when she becomes Killer Frost. If you guys like this video or you have your own theories you want to throw out there, then go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I will see you all next time. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to click that like button, maybe leave me a comment while you're at it, and go ahead and click that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to check out any of my social media pages. I've got a Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. All those links are going to be in the description below. And I've also got my last video right there in the middle of your screen, so if you want to check that out, go ahead and click it, check it out. Alright, and I will see you all next time.